This is R2D Tech and we're back again with another video today about what I think is the greatest keyboard ever, the IBM Model M, so stay tuned. So the actual version we're looking at today has the part number 1391401, which was probably the most popular version of the Model M, although it did come out earlier than this. So this particular version was actually released with the IBM PS2, their personal system too. But to be honest, the actual keyboard was probably more impressive than the actual computer itself. In terms of the overall design of the keyboard, at first glance it kind of looks like all the keyboards you would have expected at that kind of era. It's got the classic beige finish with matching keycaps. Probably the most special thing about the IBM, however, is the actual layout of the keyboard. Now, the IBM Model M set the standard for what we now see in most modern keyboards. Although the QWERTY layout on keyboards has existed since Victorian times, I'm talking about the other keys such as Control, Alt and Shift. IBM actually employed a team of engineers just to work on the layout of the keyboard, and they did things like duplicating the most used keys like Alt and Shift. That was the first time this was ever done, and it just made so much more sense than previous keyboard layouts. The other thing that makes the Model M so special is the actual mechanism that the keys use. IBM are using their own buckling spring mechanism. Now, as the name suggests, there is an actual spring under the keycaps, and when you press the key down, the spring eventually buckles, which allows the two metal contacts to touch. This mechanism is what gives the Model M such a precise and crisp feel, as well as sound. The downside is that it is an incredibly loud keyboard when you're typing, and that might bother you and people around you. I should mention that this keyboard is not well suited to gaming, especially first-person shooters, because fast repeated presses are often not registered. The version I have has a detachable PS2 cable since it was originally meant to connect to the PS2. However, different versions have different cables, some are attached and some are detachable. Now, versions of the Model M are actually still in production today. Back in 1991, IBM created a subsidiary called Lexmark International, which began manufacturing new versions of the Model M. Lexmark then sold their keyboard manufacturing rights to Unicomp. Unicomp is still producing the Model M today. However, as time went on, the build quality and reliability of the keyboards kind of decreased. If you're looking to buy one, I would strongly suggest getting the version 1391401 or before, because I think they're the most reliable. Now, talking about the build quality of our version in particular, it is incredible. It's quite a heavy keyboard, coming in at over 2 kilograms. However, that just kind of adds to the robust feel of it. Most of the weight is due to the metal backplate behind the keys, so that there's no keyboard flex whatsoever. The actual lettering on the keys is also really durable. I've had my model for just under a year and it looks good as new with no smearing whatsoever. My keyboard has developed quite a large crack at the front, and I really don't know how that happened. But it's just one thing to bear in mind. Overall, the Model M is just an incredible keyboard. It's got really good durability. The feel and sound when typing on it is really incredible. And I think it's the greatest keyboard of all time. I would strongly recommend getting one for anyone who's thinking about it. That's it from this video. If you liked it, please press the thumbs up button. If you loved it, please consider subscribing.